Yo, yo, yo. It is Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, which means it's time for Lolz, the show that started out as a League of Legends esports thought leader in the space. It morphed into a multi-sport thought leader enterprise. We have football on the horizon now, and I thought tonight, Brian, we would have you break your anything would change. We were in the lab thinking about some strat for this tournament. So tonight, Brian and I are going to jump into an underdog draft. You know, Brian is normally flexing his intellectual heft on me, and tonight I'm going to watch him squirm as he doesn't remember who these players are and whether they're good. Isn't that right?
That's going to happen. I got to get that sheet open before I look like a complete fool.
Yeah. So if there's one thing Brian knows, though, it's how to take down a top prize in a contest. So I would like our team tonight to have a very high upside contrarian mindset here. Brian and I can maybe talk through some of the things that we were looking at in this tournament. I just registered us for the Best Ball Mania, $25 if you guys want to hop in with us tonight. The Bubble tournament filled earlier this morning. That was their $5 price point. 150 max, and that thing filled like hotcakes. And it does seem like this Best Ball Mania will have some overlay unless Brian turns into a grinder overnight and 150 maxes it with the autopilot mode.
That might happen. Is this this is the big one that they offer, right?
Yeah, 200,000 up top.
Peter, how are we going to tell what lineup is ours in the 2,000 lineups you've entered?
Someone actually asked me this on Twitter today, and my response was like, this will be a really good problem to have if I have to go back and figure it out.
Okay.
Here's the thing. Any lineup I've done with someone else is documented on stream. So it won't be too hard to figure it out. I wonder if we'll be able to see the date entered on a team. If that's the case, it'll be really easy. If not, I will have to scroll through a bunch of YouTube videos.
I was talking to my buddy on Monday. We were golfing, and he said, "Good thing." We were talking about Leonard Fournette getting released, and so what do you think? Is it a good thing that you didn't draft? If you didn't draft yet, and he got ruled out, or that you didn't take him, or is it neutral?
Yeah.
What do you think?
So it's interesting you say that, because I've been thinking about this a lot, because Pat and I did one of our first drafts like first week of July. We did a slow draft, which is way ahead of the news. And there's definitely an edge to, if you're up on the prospect profiles of the rookies specifically, there's like an information gap because you understand their prospect profiles and who has a better likelihood of breaking out. Whereas otherwise, the information is completely leveled. You know, everyone has the same information. That said, your teams will naturally be worse because you're going to have more landmines. You draft Damian Williams and he opts out for the season. You draft Leonard Fournette and he gets scratched. So I think that's why structural drafting is so important, so that you're not making, those super risky bets. Both Damian Williams and Leonard Fournette were going in a range where those running backs have historically busted because we're confident about their projection in ways we shouldn't be. So I'm torn, to your point. There's upside and there's downside to it for sure.
So I think I could be wrong. I think I answered it's better to wait. So it's really like, do you draft early? Do you continuously draft, or do you wait? And I think waiting is right, because aren't we still in the same field of all the Damian Williams and Leonard Fournette teams? So they're a roster spot. I mean, Fournette's probably going to get signed somewhere, but they're a roster spot down come playoff time. Okay,
and then so I agree. Like Sean Siegel, who we did the season long, he agreed with you, and I think Sean's the sharpest season long drafter. So I'm probably going to be wrong on this, but so here was a counter example. We were drafting Antonio Gibson in like the 13th and 14th round, this running back on the Washington football team, and then they released Darius Geis, and now Antonio Gibson is going in the 6th, 7th round of these drafts. What do you think about having huge gains in value like that relative to the older teams?
That's a good question. Okay, so how many spots do we have? How many roster spots?
18.
So 1/18th of your roster. It's not because it's not equal. It's not really 1/18th. It's probably like 1/12th or something like that. I'm sorry, like 1/30th, because Fournette's kind of in between. Williams is kind of in between. You're losing a spot though. That's kind of big. That's pretty big.
It is. And yeah, I think I agree with you that if you are losing Fournette, that said, Fournette is going to sign somewhere. You know, everyone's clutching their rosary beads right now, hoping it's the Bucks or the Chiefs or a good offense where he could pay off that ADP, but it's going to be hard for him to do that.
You're losing theoretically 1/30th because you're not always taking Fournette and Williams. So, like if you're making a sports bet and you hit the line early, that's a good thing, right? Because we're assuming that your ADP average is going to be better than the field. So let's just say it is, and so that means like when you bet on a sporting event, you have an edge, and then the line's going to move towards you. But in a sporting bet, you don't have this where you're going to lose a player.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it makes it up. By the way, I have one season-long league left. I don't know when I was younger, you were probably the same way. I think my peak was like 8 leagues.
Yeah.
And this is, pre-internet stuff. So, or not, I mean, obviously there's the internet. I'm not that old, but
no, this was back when you circled your lineups in stone.
Like you actually went to the place, you got your magazine out, and you drafted, and now I'm down to 1, and I have the number 1 pick. So I'm assuming it's McCaffrey, right?
Yeah.
It's PPR.
Are any guys removed from the player pool because of keepers or something?
Yeah, you get a keeper, one keeper after the 15th round that you drafted last year. You get to keep him for a year.
Okay. And was that your question you asked me about Waller versus Chase Edmonds?
Yeah, I think I had him I took him like the 16th or 17th round last year.
I hate myself that I remember your keeper choices that easily.
I feel like you should use this memory for like something more positive in your life.
Literally anything else I could use that for, but I immediately knew your keeper decision off the top of my head. All right, Brian, we're picking here at the back of the first round. Yep. This is the ultimate decision point here. I don't know why Clyde Edwards-Helaire is now falling in drafts. Do you have a lean? Are you a running back truther here? You like going wide receiver? Where are you at?
And I honestly haven't even looked at these things. So this is a point per
it's half point per reception. It's 2 running back, 3 wide receiver, 1 flex. So you can start 4 wide receivers, but only.
Do you believe the rumors that Fournette might end up with Philly?
I've seen rumors with Philly, Tampa, and New England.
I only see the running backs up here. I'm fine with CEH, but is there a wide receiver we'd like?
I would say the decisions between CEH and Devontae Adams if we want to go wide receiver.
I like both of them. So what are you thinking?
Let's do Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I don't think Clyde Edwards-Helaire should fall this far. One report that came out, so they had brought in DeAndre Washington from the Raiders, who finished, you probably remember from DFS. He was like a great play down the stretch last year as like a pump play running back for the Raiders. And I thought he was going to be the direct backup to CEH. The reports are now he's not even going to make the roster. So they literally have the scrubs on their team from last year, Darrell Williams and Darwin Thompson, who the team didn't trust and didn't want to use. And now they go out and draft this guy in the first round, and they have no one threatening behind him without Damian Williams gone. So I think CH at 110 is a really nice price.
That works for me. Darwin Thompson is always like a DFS showdown.
Oh, yeah.
Option. It's annoying to like, is he going to get a carry this game?
Oh, the other nice thing about going CH there is there's no chance CH makes it back to us at 2-3, but we could get Devontae Adams here in 2 picks if people have the running back hunger.
What's your feeling on? Do you like a wrap position in just drafting in general? Do you like being at 12 or 1?
Yeah. No. I don't mind if it's the 1 because I get to start with Christian McCaffrey. But otherwise, I feel like you're always kind of reaching. He goes 1 pick before us. That said, I think Hill and Jones are both smash picks here. Do you have a wide receiver you like of those 2?
I'd rather take Hill. I don't care though.
So I like doing this. I started a draft like this the other day because the decision point is, does Mahomes fall to you in the third and we go for the Chiefs stack? The problem is some asshole always takes him unstacked before then, but we can try.
But that makes sense, though. If we can get him in the third, that'd be a nice little stack there.
And, we were talking – oh, go ahead.
Old wide receivers.
Old wide receivers, yeah. We were talking, too. I mean, no one needs to be talked into drafting Chiefs players. Like, that's pretty obvious. That said, the Chiefs' schedule during the playoffs is really nice, and there's lots of stacking potential here. The teams we're going to be looking at, Brian, would be Miami, New Orleans, and Atlanta, which I think are good tiebreakers for some of our other picks when we have decisions.
Yeah. And who's the other one we got on our list here? The Chargers.
The Chargers, yep. Nick Bird says, Pete, you might hit the 150 total at this rate. Here's the thing. I think I ended up at like 75 for the bubble. So I was like half at the bubble. I think I'm only at like 15 or 20 of the Mania. So there's no way. There's literally not enough hours in the day for me to max it. Actually, there is, but I'm not going to do that. It was funny last night, Brian, because as the bubble was close to filling, I know I had hopped in a few drafts just before bed, and I noticed there was like multiple of the same characters in there who had clearly set up their autopilot because they were in every draft at the same time, just trying to max it out before it filled.
And you're noticing that DK is a lot softer.
Way softer.
Yeah. Okay.
And part of that has to do with, I do think the field in general, like, Underdog self-selects. The people that know about it are from Twitter, they don't just have money on an account already. They're a DraftKings account. They're making a decision to come on here. So I think it self-selects a sharper crew. That said, the Underdog ADP updates in like near real time. I don't know how often they push it. It has to be daily. Mm-hmm. Whereas the DraftKings one still has Clyde Edwards-Helaire like 30 picks down in the applet. Like they just haven't updated it at all. And we all know how much people anchor their decisions based on ADP. So it has a huge effect.
I'd rather have it not update.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I mean, that said, the DraftKings user experience is awful in that you don't get push alerts. You can't draft on the web browser. And if you're drafting on your phone and you go to a different app, the alerts don't come through that you're on the clock.
You can't draft on your web browser?
No, not for DraftKings.
Ugh, I guess I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
So, auto do it.
Yeah. So it's I do agree. Like the teams I've made on DraftKings just look like you could never make them on Underdog ever. It's just not even close.
That's a big edge, man. If there's bad players and it's only on your phone and you're willing to put in 150 live drafts and set up all your correlations and get your scheduling and everything in there.
Yeah. And the other thing I think that's shitty too
God damn it.
Dude, watch, and we'll look at his team here. Alvin Kamara and Aaron Jones. Like, there's no reason for this team to take Mahomes here. He's like desperately in need of wide receivers when you start with two running backs. I don't get it. They had to do it to us, Brian.
People love Mahomes. So like that's like the worst to try to like stack and wait for your QB, but
it is true. That said, like it's not like we started Tyreek and Kelsey and we have two like you can have a 1-2 Chief. We're making a bet on the offense.
Todd Gurley's looking good here. I'm kidding. I'm not sure he
So normally here, I would say with this build, Kevin, since we have Casey, why did I just call you Kevin? Brian, KC plays Atlanta home week 16. Calvin Ridley seems like a nice bet here.
Yeah, especially if we faded Julio Jones there. Let's take him.
True. And I missed the little draft card. It said Calvin Ridley's looking bigger and stronger than ever. That has to be something.
No, that's guaranteed. Pretty much we're making the playoffs at least.
That's right. That's all that. That's another thing about like biases in here. Like I'll show you right here. So like Keyshawn Vaughn is a guy I've been, if I can spell his name right.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna have to scroll because I don't. Here we go. There's the apostrophe. So see this news blurb in here that hasn't been updated for 9 days. Keyshawn Vaughn may start season as kick returner. And so everyone who opens this player card up is like, I don't want to draft someone who's going to return kicks. And then he falls in the draft.
Do you get kick return points in this?
No.
Do you on DK?
I don't.
Okay, we're up.
Okay.
Oh, Leonard Fournette's available.
Let's do it. So
garbage. Let's just quit. Withdrawal.
Normally, I'm grabbing a tight end here. I think Mark Andrews on the Ravens.
Didn't Maddox say Cooper Kupp's they're gonna like have the best season? No, that maybe that's somebody else. Yeah. Okay, I like it.
So the reason I like Mark Andrews here is one, I think he's undervalued. I think he should be more of an early third round player. I think he's closer to Kelsey and Kittle than people are giving him credit for. He's also just going to be the number one target for Lamar Jackson in that offense. And also from a structural standpoint, it frees us up a roster spot because if you punt tight end, you generally need to take 3. And now with an elite tight end, we really only have to take 1 more after this.
He was in DFS too. I don't know if people remember. He was like always like questionable every week.
Yeah.
So, I did my what's it called? Pass ratio update for teams.
Yeah.
I should bring that up.
Yeah, you should.
And the Ravens were heavy on the run predicted in my model anyways.
Yeah.
Which is not surprising with Lamar Jackson.
And then they also draft a pretty promising rookie running back as well.
Who did they draft?
J.K. Dobbins. And my guy Sean Siegel just put out his 0 running back top targets, and J.K. Dobbins is his number 1 target. And you can get him generally in the 6th round of these drafts. He's a guy that appears blocked because they still have Mark Ingram. But
they still have Justice Hill.
They do. Yeah. I was drafting him all last year. It's that's salt in the wind right there, Brian.
He was one of my late round keeper picks I took last year. Like, oh, maybe he'll take over for Ingram.
Yeah. No, it seemed so great on paper.
Yeah. Well, that's what you throw a bunch of darts.
Yeah.
Hope one sticks.
The thing that's kind of concerning to me about like I definitely think he's more talented than Ingram at this point. The Ravens don't throw to their running backs hardly at all. And that was kind of where the Justice Hill stuff broke down because we all thought like, oh, Ingram will rush and then they'll throw to Justice Hill, and it never happened.
Unless you're need 260 points in a DFS weekend, and then somehow Ingram gets like 2 passing reception touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns.
Actually, I need to see this. Kaiser Soze says the blurb on Dobbins card is also fire. Let's check it out. J.K. Dobbins looking dynamic in camp. There we go. All right, so we're coming up here at
Keyshawn Vaughn's a rookie too, right? I remember him.
Yeah.
I think I took him at college football. College football's back, by the way.
Is it? Is that legal? It's not legal in Mass to play.
Nothing's legal in Massachusetts, man. You gotta get out of there.
No way, dude. I'm stoned right now. That legal Chiba.
Is that legal?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right. So based on ADP, a lot of running backs dropping here.
Fournette's still available.
You love Fournette. I can tell you want him.
DeAndre Swift,
who I normally would like, but he's injured right now, and that's bad for rookies. I'm generally looking at the wide receiver tab. I like Michael Gallup here. I would bet this guy. Oh, he doesn't take him.
All right. Well, I mean, Gallup's that DFS guy who will get like everyone. He'll be like 30% projected own, and he's either got like 1 reception, or like maybe once a year he'll go off.
Once a year?
Maybe twice last year.
We
maybe
pull up his game log. He had similar volume. He had similar volume to Amari last year. Similar air yards.
We're talking DFS. Like if I doubt he was putting up 30 pointers that you need to, or whatever, 20, 25 points.
Yeah.
Let me look up this piece of garbage.
You hate the Gallup pick already.
He must have screwed me a couple times. I can't.
I could tell.
I have some sort of visceral hatred for this guy. Let's see.
It'd be funny to do like this flashback to like the day in the slate where he burned you and you were just like, never again.
113 targets. Wow. 1,100 yards.
He coming around?
Maybe it was 2018. Who knows? All these seasons blend together for me.
So here's actually an interesting decision point. We could stack up. Obviously, we're not stacking up Tyreek. Mahomes is gone. Dak is an expensive stack option here, or we can wait and try to get Matt Ryan to stack up with Ridley, or we take the aforementioned J.K. Dobbins.
I always wait on QBs when I draft for normally.
Yeah. Do you want to do Dobbins and try to get the two most exciting rookie running backs?
I love rookies.
There you go. That's what I always call you. I'm like, Brian, you're such a youth chaser.
Oh yeah, thirsty for it. Where's the game logs for that? I'm still on Gal. He must have burned me. Let's see what he got here. He had 4 games. Oh, because the game 1 last year, he had 158 yards receiving. His 14th, week 16, he had 5 catches, 98 yards, 3 tutties. Other than that, he only had 1 touchdown 3 times.
All right. I guess I'll see if should I call up Underdog and see if they'll let me undo the pick?
Well, aren't you like an investor in this?
Yeah, no, that was one of the perks of my investment packages. I could call up Jeremy anytime I didn't like a pick and he'd roll it back for me.
Jeremy's a swell guy.
Speaking of being invested, let me see your DraftKings shirt there. I see it peeking out right there.
Oh, gotta represent.
Look at that. How many entry fees you got to circulate through to get one of those bad boys in the mail?
A lot. More than they deserve.
What was your thoughts? I assume you saw the Michael Jordan news for DraftKings?
Yeah, I was hoping it was Michael B. Jordan.
That would have been way cooler.
That was the worst joke ever.
No, I liked it.
Yeah, I don't get it. I mean, I'm assuming they did it for like the stock bump. I doubt did they need diversity on their board because it depends on the state. I'm assuming most of them now, though, that you get like there's like minority representation on the board is required for certain things.
Yeah.
So who knows? I don't know. What do you think?
I only saw the tweet. I didn't read into it. I mean, I saw that they gave him an equity stake in the company, which I mean makes sense of like why else would Michael Jordan bother? It's actually interesting when you think it from that, like, right? Like nothing can financially motivate Michael Jordan. Like maybe I'm wrong, but doesn't that dude have more money than he could ever spend in like 5 lifetimes?
You'd think, but maybe he's just blowing money left and right.
Either that or I can see how it would be appealing to him, right? Like he's an action junkie. The dude loves to gamble. So maybe DraftKings comes to him and is like, hey, we're going to be the sports book of the future. You want to come be a part of this? And he's like, that sounds fun.
Yes.
Yeah. I have to imagine his decision wasn't based in money. I just can't see how
you would think. You would think, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he still was like ranked top 10 for endorsement money, right?
I'm sure. And even the residuals on like the Nike Jordan brand have to just be insane.
Yeah, maybe. Well, I mean, if they're going to give you money for doing nothing, though.
Yeah.
Like what? Like a couple commercials a year, maybe, or whatever he's got to do.
Yeah, or show up to one like sports betting event. He's like, yeah, I was going to be there anyways. No problem.
It could just be some glorified sponsorship deal.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like instead of just giving you $100 million to do DraftKings commercial, we'll also put you on the board and give you an equity stake and blah, blah, blah. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, it's a good get for them. I mean, it further kind of helps legitimize them to a greater audience.
Yeah, well, especially with sports betting. It makes a lot of sense with sports betting because people don't know. So the ads are all over the place in Chicago now. So they're on all the billboards and stuff on the highways. And it says sports betting's legal now.
All right, let's talk. So I think we need wide receivers here. This is a point in the draft where they really start to dry up. Looking at our schedule tiebreakers, the 2 guys that jump out to me would be Henry Ruggs for the Raiders and Deebo Samuel for the 49ers.
I'd rather go. Who's Ruggs playing for?
The Raiders, rookie wide receiver. They took him like 12th overall.
Either way, then I don't care.
We might be able to get Debo coming back. So
all right, then do it. Yeah.
So the Raiders schedule, first of all, they're the only team that has 3 home games through the fantasy playoffs. They're home versus Indy, home versus the Chargers, home versus Miami. You honestly can't get a better, juicier playoff schedule.
And okay, who is Tyrod on the Chargers now?
Tyrod is on the Chargers. They drafted the rookie Justin Herbert, but the Chargers already announced
starter, right?
Yeah, and to me, Herbert feels way more like a project that I wouldn't be surprised if he redshirts the whole year.
And he was Oregon's QB?
Yeah.
And is Herbert? I always thought it was like Bear, like the old Falcons.
Oh, I like that, the French Flaubert.
Yeah.
Looks like we might be able to get Debo here as well. I think Debo's undervalued right now because of his injury, but it sounds like he's going to be okay. And
yeah, we like his schedule too, right?
Yep. And we have Gallup. The 49ers play them in week 15, and we need wide receivers.
Yep. I like it. I like it a lot.
The other nice thing about drafting Ruggs is we can kind of put in our back pocket Derek Carr as a stack.
He's really good.
He's very cheap, is what I will say.
We're looking at Tyrod, Carr, Ryan, and Dak's gone probably, huh?
Dak's gone, yeah. I think we should try to get Ryan here. If he falls to us in 16 picks, it's going to be close.
What round are we at?
We're in the mid-8th.
I wonder if the strategy is just let it fall to you. Who gives a shit? Never force it for QBs, even with the correlation. Like I'm saying, get the correlation, but just like let it fall.
Yeah,
because we're matching up what 1?
What do you mean matching up 1?
Calvin Ridley and Ryan. That's all we got.
Yep. But that said, like to me, I agree with you. I haven't. The only time I force stacks is if I have like Julio and Ridley, and it's like, okay, now I need to make sure I get Ryan because if both
fair enough.
Load. But I agree with you. If you just have one, I haven't been forcing it.
I just always wait on QBs.
Yeah,
I mean, play 0 QBs.
That's your strategy? Yeah. Oh, forget late round QB, 0 QB.
Waiver wire. Week 1. They have that in this, right?
Yeah, they do. That's part of my investor package. I get 1 waiver wire ad.
I don't think you should be telling people this. Underdog might just go get some emails they don't want to have.
They'll deal with it. I mean, that's when you get a prima donna talent like me, that's just kind of the risk that you got to take on. But I will say to your point, I kind of am interested in maybe trying this out because the 3 of the best schedules also have 3 of the cheapest late round quarterbacks in Tyrod, Tua, if you assume he takes over by the playoffs, and Derek Carr. So we could try a true punt QB strategy and see what our team looks like.
All right.
I don't see a lot of people do that. So I do think it will be unique construction wise.
Yeah. I'm not in love with the Giants from our strategy that we're trying to go with here, right?
The what strategy?
The playoff strategy. So we don't want the Giants, I don't think, right?
No, yeah, I agree with you. That's been part of the reason I've been pumping the brakes a little bit on that.
And Slayton's there. Oh, someone took Shepard, it looked like, right? Because he was a bit. No, he's still there.
So looking at this board, to me, so if we want to take like the biggest cut possible, I almost think Tony Pollard is kind of the play where we make another bet on the Cowboys and we're betting against Zeke. If Zeke gets injured, I mean, Tony Pollard's one of the handcuff backs that would just immediately be a top 5 back.
Did I see Marlon Mack too?
Yeah.
I am out of it. So this is what happened with him.
So Marlon Mack they drafted Jonathan Taylor, who is like
Taylor Thomas. I forgot.
The most exciting rookie prospect since Zeke. So Marlon Mack is getting squeezed here soon.
Gotcha. Madison. Oh, someone just took Madison. It looks like no, because Madison Cook is injury prone, and that is provable that injuries matter now.
Okay, There is Matt Ryan. I like
Yeah.
Tony Pollard. I think Chase Edmonds is interesting. I like Chase Edmonds more than Madison for your kind of line of thought of like with Kenyon Drake being injured. And he fits our schedule profile more. So I would say Matt Ryan, Pollard, or Edmonds.
Let's do Edmonds.
Okay.
Unless you have
a
preference. Yeah. Edmonds, Drake isn't really injury prone, and not that that's a thing, but like, and how many carries is he going to get hurt? They're probably going to be what, like 60-40?
Yeah, and that is the thing. I think Edmonds will have a little bit of a standalone role. And like shit, I'm spilling beer everywhere again.
That's the second one. He spilled one pre-stream as well, folks. So
Brian, that was between you and me.
We got 2 picks left. Two picks to
wow. This is really where my skill as a host, cleaning up beer messes,
drafting winners.
Drafting winners. Who do you like?
Well, all the guys we won there. No, just Pollard's still there, huh? Oh shit! Did they just take him? No, he's still there. Pollard's still there if you want to do it, or Matt Ryan.
You choose. I like both of those picks here. They're both nice.
Do Pollard.
Let's just go. Yeah, let's just shoot for the moon.
Keep going 0 QB strategy.
Yep. Someone did mention earlier we need to keep an eye out on our buys. We have a bunch of Week 10 buys with the Chiefs in Dallas.
Week 10 doesn't matter this year.
It doesn't. It's thrown out.
Week 10 is the COVID week. Did I put mystery guest again in the title? No, I didn't.
Did you? I need to go get another paper towel. Hold down the fort.
All right. Jason Cornwell. I didn't put mystery guest in the title, I don't think, unless YouTube's showing the wrong information. Who would you guys take here? These guys are all garbage that's left over. I think these just end drafts. What round are we in? 10? 10 rounds max.
Yeah, we're in round 10. Week 10 doesn't count.
Nick Bird says, please don't say you're a thirsty youth chaser.
Oh, yeah. Does R. Kelly still live in Chicago, Brian?
What's that?
Does R. Kelly still live in Chicago?
I think he lives at Cook County Penitentiary, right?
The original thirsty youth chaser.
I don't even know where he's at. I think he might be in jail. I'm not sure.
Every morning now that I've been doing these streams where I drink, like I've been doing a lot of margaritas, and I'll come down in the morning and I'll be like, why is there like sticky lime juice on my desk? And I'm like, oh, that's the residue from my margarita last night.
But at least margaritas won't explode all over your floor.
That's true. I feel like it was kind of like a hack cliche thing when quarantine started that everyone's like, I'm drinking so much more now. The thing is I was just kind of on my normal schedule. And now all these draft live streams at night, I'm drinking so much. I've finally caught up to the alcoholics.
Yeah. I don't blame you. They're going back to work. You're starting to pick up your drinking.
You're right. You're right. They're all getting back to life. And I'm just like, oh.
You got to be contrarian in all aspects of your life.
Yeah.
Was that Kaiser Sose? Hurst at tight end, Brian? He says, yeah. So Hurst is Andrew's tight end backup, but like,
no. Sorry, Brian. He used to be last year. He went to the Falcons in free.
Oh, he's saying that's a good thing. Okay, good. All right. So did the Falcons sign Hooper? I know he wanted like a bunch more money, right?
The Browns.
Oh, okay. So his career is over.
Honestly, I think I have Hooper on like one of 70 teams. I haven't been drafting him.
It's a shame. All the Hooper sports, the professional athletes. Chase Hooper got his ass kicked.
It's super.
Hooper's on the Browns.
I actually today made a bet on Baker Mayfield's season-long under number.
Is this his third season?
Yes.
And that's the QB bump year.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
QB third year is when they take.
Yeah, I think there's like a distinct statistical increase.
Yeah.
In third year QBs. I could be wrong on that, but
All right. So we have some interesting decisions coming up. I agree. We're still in a punt QB range. I also think along with our schedule punts too, I think Garoppolo, also a nice schedule, a little stack action with Debo. I think he's a guy we could look at. We definitely need a couple more wide receivers.
Yeah.
We could continue with an unstacked Chiefs thing if we want to focus on that. And we do want another tight end with Andrews. We could continue with our unstacked.
Did somebody take Leonard Fournette?
Yes. You were obsessed with Leonard Fournette.
You know how many times I took that guy in DFS last year?
Well, that's all the sharp people played of it yet.
Buy a house if I didn't do that.
Let's see. So of those names that I tossed out, I'm just going to go through.
Watkins. Hey, your boy Keyshawn Vaughn's still available, but we have like a million running backs at this point.
I think we should continue to make bets on either the Chiefs or the Cowboys, Watkins or Jarwin.
I mean, I think Watkins is.
Let's do it.
I'd rather take Watkins.
Let's do it. We continue to have Week 10 buys. Don't worry, folks.
Like a showdown type of player than a best ball.
You prefer him? Yeah, showdown and best ball. I prefer him in showdown. I prefer him in best ball. Have a lot of overlap, I assume.
They kind of do.
Yeah.
You want to stack in showdown? You want to stack in best ball?
Someone asked us if we had any interest in the Cam Newton, N'Keal Harry stack. I've done a decent amount of that. What the theme I would say to Brian and I's draft right now is we are honing in on a couple of offenses as well as some teams with a really nice playoff schedule that we like.
Yeah. And we want to, just like our PGA. Did we cash, by the way?
Oh, shit. We need to look that up. I don't think we did, but I can look it up.
Just like we're drinking in celebration either way. But our PGA strategy is just like our best ball strategy.
Okay, I'm gonna make a pick here. I think we should take N'Keal Harry. They just released Mohamed Sanu today. It's Edelman.
They did.
Harry.
Okay.
They ate a second round pick for Sanu.
Take him. I think I had him in like 65% of my best balls last year.
Really?
I had him in a lot. Yeah, like I didn't recognize until it was too late. I did auto draft because I'm like, I'm not sitting here drafting this shit. Fuck it.
You're like, who the fuck is this?
I think I had 6 teams make it of my 150 to the playoffs.
Mm.
No. Actually, I was 11%. I think.
Yeah.
So whatever that is.
Oh no.
What's Mike Williams doing now? What's his deal?
So Mike Williams was a guy I was drafting a lot, and then he had a shoulder issue that they said he was going to be out about 4 weeks.
Oh, okay. All right.
So it kind of put a damper on things.
This Aaron Rodgers fellow, is he any good?
Yeah, that's tough.
Let's do Lazard, Rodgers, back-to-back, stack it up. Championship.
Let's see here. We could... Where's Roger? Oh, Rogers just went. Your plan is already thwarted.
Well, call underdog.
Oh, I will. I'll be giving a. We should probably be looking at a second tight end here.
How about Big Ben? Big Ben gonna
check our schedule, grid, dude.
Oh shit!
At Buffalo, at Cincinnati, home versus Indy.
All right.
I think we can make one more pick and then grab Garoppolo.
Got at home versus Indy too, because Indy's a dome.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you know.
Okay. All right. AJ Dillon, what happened to him? Nothing, right?
AJ Dillon, rookie running back that the Packers drafted, whose his metrics look very similar to Derrick Henry. He's basically the same athleticism and size as Derrick Henry.
Is he Jones's handcuff? Everyone considering that? Yeah.
And I like
you feel, Peter, that your audience is so sharp that you don't need to define things like handcuff or stack or?
No, these guys know. I mean, we got teams talking about modified zero QB in the chat. They're talking about Cam and Harry stacks. They want us to tap Visca and Minshew. These guys are hip to it, man.
All right. Yeah, zero QB is the way to go, I think.
I'm coming around on this because I'm looking at this team and I'm like, we are loaded.
I think I've done that. I've done that in a season long. I think I've drafted no QB once in my long season-long career. And just to fuck with people, took no QB and then picked up someone on the waiver wire week 1.
Yeah, I mean, the way this is setting up is like if we do grab A.J. Dillon here, we're pretty much drafting like QB and tight end the rest of the way or close to it.
Yeah, all right, fine.
Which is completely fine. The way the schedule and some of our targets line up, it does lend itself to full-blown late QB. I just haven't done it.
What about – all right, so Miami, Chargers, Vegas.
Oh, so the one Charger guy, and this would be – oh, shit, he's gone. Is Joshua Kelly already gone? Oh, he just went. That was the Charger I've been liking to add. He's their rookie running back who I think is the true handcuff for Eckler.
Okay.
But
that's a good pick because Eckler's not going to play. He's not an every down back, right? Or is everyone considering him an every down back?
Oh, we are on the clock right now.
Yeah.
Right. A.J. Dillon went too. We're in trouble. I think lock up Garoppolo.
All right, take him.
Sorry, I panicked. I didn't have a good other option.
I wanted to go zero QB, but
I know. I'm sorry. I let you down.
I guess we'll take a quarterback.
The one thing we should watch out on is I think we probably should grab our second tight end here.
How about G-Reg in the 7th floor crew?
Who? I didn't even understand a word you just said.
G-Reg in the 7th floor crew? You haven't heard that rap song by Greg Olsen?
Okay, Greg Olsen from his Miami Hurricanes days. Okay. I do remember that Deadspin post from back in the day.
Have you heard the rap song?
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah. Greg Olsen would have gotten canceled.
If you put that on your Twitter, Greg Olsen might get released.
He's now doing like podcast ads for Blue Wire. He has a new podcast called Tight End One.
He's probably woke as fuck too. We'd probably go through his Twitter. Who you liking here?
So I was just trying to look at the schedule stuff. I actually don't mind. No, I don't want to do Ebron with the same bye. Shit,
I mean,
Brian.
DFS wise, Jack Doyle is. Did they pick up a tight end?
No, they didn't. And Burton is hurt.
Take Doyle then.
All right.
I'm not paying attention at all to the news of the offseason, but Doyle's like drafted 20% of the time every week, basically. He has a low salary, but
I haven't been drafting him a lot, but I don't hate it. Their schedule's not bad. They're going to
take Phillip Rivers.
Exactly. He's got Phillip Rivers. And I honestly think the best thing going for him right now is they were saying Trey Burton, who had come over from Chicago, was having this incredible camp. And now I believe he's out for the season. Someone can remind me, but he's hurt for a while.
Trey Burton, who almost lost his leg, right?
Yeah.
No. Was that? Yeah, that was him, wasn't it?
I believe.
No, wasn't
or is that someone else? Okay. Let's see here. So I'm so bummed that Kelly went. He would have been the perfect pick there for us. So we have Brian. We have 4 picks left. We're going to do 2 of them on quarterbacks, at least 1 on running back, probably 2 on running back. I think we're 2 quarterbacks, 2 running backs to finish out.
Who's this? Andrews. Is Doyle still on Indiana?
He is, yeah, but with Rivers there and not.
So who's Andrews? Did they pick up a tight end?
Mark Andrews is Ravens.
Yeah, I'm looking at Harb's comment.
Oh, let me see his comment. Oh, he said over under 1.5 weeks of Doyle starting over. He's saying that we won't have to use Doyle much, which I mean, that's
okay.
a good problem to have. Hopefully just week 8.
Yeah. Andrews gets hurt a lot, but he had some big weeks last year.
Yeah. Don't worry, Brian and I, we don't wear condoms when we draft. We're not handcuffing one of our players in a top-heavy best ball contest.
Zach Miller, in my YouTube chat, that's who almost lost his leg.
Oh, okay, there we go. Yep. I do remember that. Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah, that was nasty. I can't even watch that stuff anymore. Like, it's like, when someone snaps a leg, it's like, okay, I've seen it enough now.
All right, Brian, I'll say it right now. If Keyshawn Vaughn is here, we are legally obligated to take him.
Take him.
This slip, like, for a while he was like, when these opened up, he was going in like the 9th and 10th. And then Rojo steam took hold and he's going 12th and 13th. And then the rumors about Leonard Fournette going to the Bucks today, and he's sliding another 2 full rounds. This is a rookie that they took. If I mess this up, I believe in the 3rd round. I mean, they invested draft capital in this guy and everyone's writing him off.
I took him a lot in college football last year.
What was his like playing style?
Well, I didn't watch the games, Peter.
He put up points, Brian.
He got me money. That's all I care about. Thank you, Keyshawn.
Someone tell me this has to be the latest Keyshawn Vaughn has gone in a draft. Pick 178, almost 30 picks after his ADP.
Even I am shocked.
Even Brian right now cannot believe his eyes. This guy he played in college DFS going this late.
Who do we got a QB that like is gonna come in late? You know what I mean? Some like rookies or whatever.
Tua.
All right, fine. But we don't have any Miami guys.
I know, but I haven't so I think we should get Derek Carr.
How about I'm gonna pitch you on Mitchell Trubisky.
No.
Chicago Bears quarterback, drafted number 2 overall, traded up for by Ryan Pace, who's an excellent GM.
Brian, sometimes I put my foot down. We drafted Henry Ruggs. We've said the Raiders have the best schedule. You told me that Derek Carr is the greatest quarterback you've ever seen play the game. We're taking Derek Carr.
Cousins too. It fits our.
He does, but we don't have any stack equity.
Yeah, I'm assuming they only have 2 wide receivers, basically. So, is Kyle Rudolph still in football? Does he still play football?
He is. People have been drafting Irv Thomas, who probably just went a few picks ago, who's pretty young and athletic, over him, waiting for Kyle Rudolph to go.
Sound like it. Irv Thomas does not sound like a young athletic man.
He does sound like a 55-year-old.
Yeah, I'm not drafting a guy named Irv Thomas.
There you go. Harp says it's the first Trubisky love of the year. The one guy still standing by him.
The first Ryan Pace love of the year, too. Our buddy Steve Buzzard sent me a fake tweet of Kamara traded to the Bears for a 2nd-round pick, and I didn't think it was fake. And I'm like, Ryan Pace is the dumbest fucking GM.
You got all riled up?
In the NFL. I'm like, how do you draft Trubisky over Foster and Mahomes and still have a job 3 years later? Like, this guy, he must have photos on someone. And he's like, dude, it's a fake tweet. I'm like, oh, okay.
Did Steve assume you would know it was fake, or did he
assume? Yeah.
Okay.
But anything the Bears do, I just automatically just go like, well, Pace did. It's got to be garbage.
Okay. I have 2 guys I'm interested in for these last 2 picks.
Okay.
But that's because I've done a million of these and I have opinions. That said, that doesn't mean they're right.
Well, I think all these guys are garbage. Hunter Renfrow did have a couple good DFS weeks at the end of the last season, but other than that,
he did.
Westbrook would be like high owned and get like 1 catch when he's projected to get 5.
I don't think we need a wide receiver, and I don't think Hunter Renfrow cracks these wide receivers. He doesn't have the kind of like spiked week profile I think we want, even though his box score last year did indicate a few spiked weeks.
I'm not advocating for them.
There is a running back on the Raiders I might advocate for, the rookie that they drafted, Lynn Bowden Jr. converted college QB, can play some wide receiver, running back. Josh Jacobs isn't going to catch passes. Allows us to continue to place bets on the Raiders for that juicy playoff schedule, and continuing with our theme of rookie running backs.
All right. What's the QB situation here?
So I actually think we first should draft Tua.
Wait, Fitzmagic's sitting there looking us right in the face.
Look, in Brian's dream world, he's taken Leonard Fournette, Mitchell Trubisky, hits it, comes back with Hunter Renfrow, and then grabs Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Fitzpatrick is a guy who'll win you $1 million. You got to admit. Not in best ball, but in DFS he good.
Yeah. Someone said, yes, we only have 3 non-week 10 bye weeks. That's fine. In week 10, Henry Ruggs, Deebo Samuel, and N'Keal Harry will pop off for 200 yards and 2 tutties each.
Yeah, I already said week 10 doesn't matter. Jesus.
Check your terms and conditions, guys.
Yeah. You give up week 10. Everyone fucking knows that who's sharp. Do you need more than 2 QBs?
Yeah, we should. When you punt QB, I think you need 3. It does suck that we no. Okay, sorry. I was thinking Tua was week 10 too. He's week 11. I think Tua, when you look at his schedule, there's no way Ryan Fitzpatrick is starting week 14 unless Tua comes in and gets hurt. I don't see that.
Never underestimate Ryan Fitzmagic, my friend.
I need to.
That story. Is that story over? I don't know.
The greatest story ever told?
Yes. Ryan Fitzmagic story.
Yep, Dolphins Fitzmagic stack won the draft best ball championship last year. Well,
there you go.
Guess who's our generation's Fitzmagic? Tua Tagliavola.
He'll be a good keeper for next year's best ball. We get to keep him, right?
Yeah, this is a keeper league best ball. Did I not tell you about that wrinkle?
No, I just assumed.
It's actually a dynasty. We have these guys for life.
All these guys. Okay.
All of them.
Oh, we drafted young.
We did. That was part of why we skewed young.
So Sanu got released. Didn't they trade a second rounder for him?
Yeah, a second rounder. Halfway through the season, they didn't even get a full season of production.
Do you care about the Patriots, or is that just a bet with your website?
No, that's just a bit with my website. My wife is from here. I've never had any allegiance to the Patriots.
Do you care about the Broncos?
I did as a kid.
I mean, now, do you have like any left or none?
Zero. I do some fantasy because I've been drafting Sutton and Drew Lock and Noah Fant, but they could win the Super Bowl and I wouldn't feel a thing.
Okay. Is that just like you wouldn't feel a thing no matter what occurred in your life? You've experienced neither highs nor lows?
No. Right. If this team wins the best ball championship, I will feel something deep within my loin. Yeah.
Right, I'm happy.
I'm going to get us Lynn Bowden Jr. here.
Good. Yeah, we're getting to the point of the draft where unless I have my DFS spreadsheet available on game day.
Hey, well, I haven't done a draft like this where we fully prioritized that late season schedule. I mean, I think every single player that we drafted, other than maybe N'Keal Harry in New England schedule, which isn't even bad. It's at the Rams, at Miami, and then home versus Buffalo. Our schedule is really nice. I would say Doyle and Harry are the only like off-brand picks from our schedule lens, but otherwise we nailed it.
All right. We didn't like reach anywhere, I don't think, right?
No. You talked me off of reaching for quarterbacks. I dig it.
Oh yeah. 0 QB is the wave of the future.
I legitimately like this team a lot. Like a lot. It's a really good team.
Who is Lynn Bowden Jr.?
Oh my goodness.
What?
Wow. Here's the news. The Bucks have signed Leonard Fournette. I was wondering why the chat was saying call Pat.
Okay, so that means do they still have the Ronald Jones?
And Keyshawn Vaughn, but that's why
we just took. Well, who gives a shit? We took him 5th.
Wow. I can't. You know what was so funny? I mean, yeah, guys, I'll be doing the ship chasing stream later tonight with Pat, and he will be on. Oh, let's see. I got a breaking text from Pat right now. All it says is this is going to be one hell of a stream. So
you should keep your messages minimized there, pal, just in case you.
Oh shit! Right.
You don't want it.
Oh God, you guys are going to see all the women I've been DMing here on Twitter.
It's a message from what's his name, Bobby Sly. Like, hey, bro, what's going on this weekend? Nothing, man.
Hey, my last Lolz stream got 240 viewers. Does that move the needle for you? Yes. This is it's a good lesson, and you don't have to tilt Lenny Fournette to the Bucks when you draft Keyshawn Vaughn at pick 178.
Yeah, who gives a shit? Yeah,
there's no risk.
It doesn't. He could be released in week 5. Who knows? Yeah,
I'll be interested to see what the deal is, like the actual contract numbers and how much they paid him. It's a wild landing position because the people who are Leonard Fournette truthers are kind of getting bailed out because it's a good landing spot for him.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
We will see. Brian, what was your?
I don't like that for DFS, honestly.
No.
Now we're gonna have to split up shares to 3 legitimate running backs. So.
Yep. Guys, don't worry. We will be going live here soon with Pat, and we will get his thing. Brian, what was your first best ball experience like? Do you have the itch?
Well, the first this year. I've done plenty before. I don't have the itch. Now that you told me DK is mobile only, that definitely dampens my spirits. In this underdog, you keep telling me how sharp it is. It's like, why am I doing it then?
Exactly. Honestly, the reason is because the user experience is their app is so good.
Yeah, I'll probably end up degenning and entering it.
Let's do. I actually want to because I do agree with you in that the ADPs are just hyper efficient relative to kind of like any other market you would see for ADPs. That said, you still see constructions that are just completely absurd. So I was going to see if I could.
Keyshawn Vaughn dropped in our draft because people were getting that news while we were talking.
So based on when everyone started flooding the chat and Twitter,
that would be after.
Yeah, although maybe there was a rumor one that had gone out that we missed.
Yeah.
This is actually a hard view. I normally like to scroll through the specific teams to see.
Just pick one dude. Yeah, just pick a random guy.
Oh, here we go. Oh, I know Ben. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, I think
Ronald Jones.
Oh, yeah, this team is. So I don't like having only 2 QBs and only 2 tight ends when you draft them relatively late. I want a more early round anchor if I'm going to have Sam Darnold.
He didn't stack.
No stacking.
Sam Darnold with Mims, which doesn't count.
Oh, and he does have
he got Gronk.
Brady with Gronk, but and he I don't love that team, which is hard to mess up a Gronk team, or I mean a C-Mac team. Jesus.
Oh, look at this Fournette 70th pick. I still, even knowing where he's going, I don't know if that's great. Is that great? 7th round then? No, sixth round, right?
I would say his true ADP should probably be 7th, 8th round now. I am not convinced that he is going to be the factor everyone wants him to. Like you said, from a DFS perspective, this is a nightmare, which we can extrapolate to this stuff. We wanted him to go to the Bears, right? David Montgomery's hurt. They have Tariq Cohen, who's $150 soaking wet behind him. That's where you want him to go.
You want a handcuff situation in best ball. You want a handcuff situation or a rookie.
Totally.
Right. I mean, you don't want. So okay, if Keyshawn gets hurt, that doesn't really change Fournette's value. If Jones gets hurt, it bumps him up a little bit, but Keyshawn will probably get some more carries.
Yeah. Here's another team. He used 2 early premium picks on quarterback, which I do not like. And you can see how quickly his wide receiver depth falls off. He's very thin at both running back and wide receiver. I think there's too much opportunity cost to drafting 2 quarterbacks really early.
Have you seen any data on that? Like where they're like an ADP by position over time?
No, I haven't.
Right. So like taking QBs early or whatever, something like that.
Yeah.
You probably, I don't know how you would do that. You could measure it to like ROI nowadays because these are actually cash money tournaments.
Yeah. This is another, but I knew this asshole. The people who take Mahomes always fuck it up. If you take Mahomes and Wentz, you absolutely do not have to take Rodgers. I hope none of these people are watching this stream and are upset.
Just crying. Tomorrow, he might be on the Bears soon. Gurley, 44th pick. What do you think about that? Because I thought he was like hurting still.
Yes, this is one of my blind spots, Brian, because as part of our like loading up on Falcons for the play, like he should be in my plan more. I'm just never drafting running backs in that range. And like you said, I truly believe Gurley is just fully cooked.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, in DFS, he will burn you. And there were some weird ownerships with him at the end of last year. I think I faded him enough, hopefully. But just Malcolm Brown still playing for the Rams?
Yes. Yeah, they have Malcolm Brown and John Kelly. They have the second
whatever that guy.
Yeah, who's hurt right now. So it seems like Cam Akers could run away with that job, which actually brings us to this team. I obviously love this team. It's a 0 RB team. They loaded up on rookie running backs and handcuffs like we just talked about. They have one elite QB and then they waited. They hammered wide receiver early, Thomas Hopkins, Evans, Chark, and they pieced it together at tight end. So this is a really good construction in my opinion.
Do you believe the Hopkins holdout hype and stuff like that?
I'm not worried about Hopkins. I think there's concern about if he's going to get as many targets as he has in years past, but I think that Arizona offense is going to be really good this year. This is too thin at wide receiver for my tastes. I mean, you can start up to 4 each week, and you only have Julian Edelman and Auden Tate kind of as your backfillers. I don't love that.
That's not too bad of 5 wide receivers, though.
Okay, here's a dead one on arrival. 4 tight ends with Travis Kelce. I mean, that's just dead on arrival.
I wonder if that was automated.
It had to have been.
See if they stack Carolina. They did.
Yeah, Teddy Bridgewater. So, yeah, it looks like he was there for like the first 8 picks and then left. So, yeah, like this construction looks good. Like Sanders, Eckler, you start with 2 and then you come back and you grab a couple guys to back.
Did he get Cousins?
No, he didn't.
See, that's another thing you can do when you're live drafting, in a family league, is you could see that this guy needs a quarterback and he's got this guy and you could fuck him.
Yeah. I think this team is complete, like taking 3 QBs when you have Russell and Cam and going with Jimmy Graham as your tight end 2 and going with only 5. Is that 5? No, 6 wide receivers that's a little thin to me. Too many running backs. So yeah, I don't know. These constructions, like even though the ADPs are super sharp, I think like 2 or 3 of these teams are dead on arrival and another couple have pretty bad constructions in my opinion. This one looks solid to me.
This might be a stupid question, but do you think ADP and ownership overall in a single tournament are identical?
Say that again.
So like, let's say in this this is what, $25, $200K to first, right?
Yeah.
So in this league, let's say OBJ is picked 27% of the time. Or I guess he would be 100% of the time, right? It was a stupid question now I think about it. Yeah, so like they all will be picked in their average draft position. It shouldn't matter because they're all basically going to be taken. There's only going to be a couple guys who like are sometimes taken and sometimes aren't.
Yeah. To me, I do think it's probably very close. And because the only way for you to differentiate from an ownership level is with those last few picks, because if the ADP, 90% of the pool is going to be 100% owned, right?
Yeah, but I don't see how ownership can matter. I was just thinking out loud with that horrible question, but like ownership won't matter because your opponents can't take them. Right. So we're not playing a DFS contest here.
I think the only place ownership would happen, right, was when you'd get into the final few weeks, because then your opponents could have the same players.
It could matter your ownership to average ADP, and you can like get leverage that way, maybe. So, you know what I mean? So like if you take a guy 40% of the time and his ADP is lower on average or something, maybe. Yeah. I don't know. I'd have to think.
Well, think about it this way. So last year, say if you were in a 12-team league in the draft championship and you drafted Christian McCaffrey and Lamar Jackson, two of the guys that had the highest win rates across all of it. Now you enter the first round of the playoffs and you're facing off against a ton of teams that have Christian McCaffrey and Lamar Jackson, but you are the team that took DJ Chark in the 20th round, who was a league winner that's differentiated from those. To me, that's where that differentiation could come in.
I guess that's true, but like you're way less likely to make the playoffs because you don't have McCaffrey. Which, I mean, but it's still possible. So that still could be an edge, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd have to think about that one. That's a good one, Peter.
Thank you. Every once in a while, I got something on my plate. But Brian, I'm not just saying I haven't done a true late round QB draft like this, and I really, really like this team.
Yeah, I like it. I like waiting on QBs and taking young players. So
well, and I completely agree with you in that we took all rookies and then the probably two best handcuffs in football in Edmonds. If Kenyon Drake or Ezekiel Elliott go down, these two running backs are going to absolutely smash.
Yeah, and Dobbins, they're thinking 60-40, 60-30.
And to me, and I had just read Sean's write-up about Dobbins, like he calls Dobbins like the playoff hammer push of where it might take, 7 or 8 weeks for that situation to shake out. But once he's on the field and making plays, it becomes so undeniable that like Mark Ingram just has to be benched because this guy is so much better than him down the stretch. So he's like a hammer, whereas like Clyde Edwards-Helaire is the best of both of that. He's going to come in right away from day one and play all the snaps with no competition.
Yeah, it felt like he just fell to us.
Yeah.
He's basically a wide receiver too, so he's going to catch 100 balls.
Yeah. I know at the beginning of the chat, I think Fantasy Sharp was asking if we would talk DFS. I think next week we will we'll commit to a full-blown DFS NFL preview, yeah?
Yeah, next week we'll do a showdown lineup, right, Peter?
Yeah.
And football season starts.
Yep. All right, guys, thank you for joining us tonight on Lolz to draft a best ball winner. This has been a great time. We will see you guys next week. We will be one night away a week from today for the NFL season. As always, if you guys want to listen to this in audio form, we have the podcast up on all of your podcast feeds of choice. For Brian Hooper, I'm Peter Overzet. We just won $200,000, and this is Lolz.